What's happening, everybody? Chris Beans here with Bowler's Rant, bringing you one new update from Storm Bowling. Okay, Bowl Expo is here upon us, and everybody is front and center thinking about all the things in bowling, and Storm has announced a blockbuster release coming worldwide. Let's take a look at it now. Behold the Trend 2. Woo, this is the next in the line of the BELMO balls. And every time Storm goes number 2 on something a la Phase 2, it gets that much better. And there's something very significant about the specs of this ball that are different from the original. We're going to jump right into that right now. Let's head on over to the interwebs. And here we go. Here is the Trend 2. And the first thing we're going to talk about is it talks about it having a stronger cover and a redesign of the weight block. The original Trend was R2S and had the piston weight block. This weight block's a little different. Why do I say that? Because we can see it in the specs. This ball has the NRG hybrid reactive cover stock, piston LD core, and I believe that means lower density. And we're going to talk about that in a minute because it has to do with the RG and the differential. This ball has 1500 grit polished, the color indigo, space, black, and rose. That's a very interesting, unique color, but should be easy to read as it goes down the lane. Again, we'll talk more about that because it is a hybrid, so you can see some of the solid, some of the purple there, okay? Medium amount of flare, orange merengue scent, that should smell pretty good. The numbers, this is important, 2.54 RG with a .041 differential. Why is that important? Well, first off, let's talk about where the numbers are at for this weight block, 254.041. Where were they at for the original Trend? I respond, 252.049, okay? So, looks like they've increased the RG, okay? So you can see that, they've increased the RG. And they've lowered the differential at 041, which previously was 049. Okay, why did they do that? Well, it looks like they're talking about more continuation at the end of the pattern, dealing with the core dynamics, differentials, and basically they want this thing to be in constant motion without locking up or going forward too quickly. That's a lot of stuff here, but basically they want this thing to come back and make the turn. So, before we get into some of the more of the stuff, let's talk about where this fits in your bag. This is a symmetrical hybrid, and it's a shiny symmetrical hybrid. That covers a lot of different scenarios, and basically a ball like this is a versatility ball. This is an all-styles ball. So this is going to be a ball that a lot of different people can step into, and they can start to score with, and it shouldn't be that difficult to do. You're going to pick your basic symmetrical layout that you go to all the time with your Pro Shop operator, of course, and you're off into the races, and you're probably not going to have to do a lot to adjust it, unless if you're a high-speed or high-cranker bowler where you might see a little bit of the over-under if you're on cliff conditions, okay? Now, so, and you can use it right out, first ball out of the bag if you want. Typically, I like to encourage people to use solids, but a hybrid with a strong cover like this, NRG, which is very important because Nano has specific characteristics, blends the wet dry very, very well. Okay, let's go back on over to the interwebs and let's take a look at the design doc, okay, because there's some really interesting stuff here. Piston core, they're saying, has adapted to the ever-changing environment. They've lightened the density of the weight block to create the higher RG and the lower differential. Enter the piston LD core. And as we just talked about, they want it to be in constant motion without going forward too quickly or locking up. So all around good ball, should be great for the house shot. I expect a lot of people are going to like this on the house shot. Easily something that anybody can step into and score with. Let's summarize and take a look at the shelf appeal as we close out. Ball looks really, really good. Easy to see. I like the big 2 there. It's very, very in your face. This thing's floating. And this pour should be very, very easy to read as it goes through all 3 phases of ball motion. Wow, a lot of great information there. So in terms of universal release date, I'm going to have that information in the description. And speaking of the description, if you want to learn more about this ball and where you can pick it up, I've got a link in the description where you can grab this on bowlersmart.com. So, what do you think of the Trend 2? Do you like it compared to the Trend 1? And what do you think of the difference on the cores? And if you were to get one, what layout would you go with? Drop me a comment, let me know. Let's continue the conversation. More updates are coming, and until then, bow well.